Jenna wakes up because of her mom, Monica, who then asks if she hasn't considered returning to the workforce. But Jenna is not sure about who would hire her at this point since everybody is half her age. Monica says that Jenna has been locked in her room for a year and reminds her that the longer she goes unemployed, the harder it'd be for her to find a job. Monica mentions that Jenna is not gonna wake up one day and be over Brian because she was with him for 10 years. But she needs to go through the process of healing and getting back to living. Jenna asks her mom what's wrong. Monica replies that her father won't touch her while she's there because he's afraid that Jenna might hear them. So Monica tells Jenna that it is time for her to go back to New York. Jenna moves to her new apartment in New York. But to get back on her feet she needs to get a job, so she visits a woman named Darcy to see if she could help her. When Jenna arrives, we are immediately made aware of the fact that Jenna is a public figure and her breakup story even made some huge headlines. When Darcy sits down to have a talk with Jenna, she reminds her that she stole every job she wanted and also her boyfriend. Jenna denies ever doing such a thing and tells Darcy that it's a shame her subscription model failed to launch, but with someone like her things could improve a lot. Darcy tells Jenna that she has 90 days to make a meaningful change. Later, Jenna and her friends, Elodie and Billy, go out with her to celebrate her new job. Out of nowhere, a woman named Cassidy recognizes Jenna and calls her brave for showing herself after her terrible breakup. Jenna sneaks out to avoid confrontation and ends up meeting a man named Eric. He compliments Jenna's dimples and natural looks. Jenna is surprised and says that she thought that someone of his generation would be more into the barrel aesthetic. But after they make out, Jenna leaves running thinking that nobody can see them making out in public. The next day, Jenna can't believe her luck because Darcy introduces her to their new videographer, Eric, who so happens to be Darcy's son. His job will be to help Jenna create content for their subscription relaunch. Their first task is to go to Greta Blumen's place to get an interview on her design process. However, things don't go the way they expected because Greta would only talk about how sad she is for her peacock passing away. Eric tells Jenna that if she allowed him to get more involved, things would be easier. Eric gets a call that he doesn't take. Jenna immediately knows that something's up, so she asks if his girlfriend called him. Eric says that it's her ex-girlfriend, and since they're stuck in traffic, Jenna decides to ask him about her. Eric says that her name is Madison and she's a 22-year-old ballerina. Jenna calls Madison simple and makes some comments that don't sit right with Eric. So, feeling the negative vibes, Eric decides to unbuckle and get out of the car. At a local fair, Jenna tells Billy about her struggles with work, particularly how she feels unable to deliver. Billy encourages her to keep trying. Then Jenna takes a look around and lays her eyes on some clothing pieces. The designer named Becca steps in to give Jenna her business card in case she needs it sometime. Billy then tells Jenna that the perfect occasion for an outfit like that could be a date, and she happens to know this 50-year-old man who's the owner of a wine shop. Jenna agrees to go on a date with him. At work, Jenna receives a basket with some goodies and a letter that reads, "I hear a welcome back is in order. Would love to catch up. Until then, coffee on me." But Jenna immediately throws it away when she sees her ex's name on it. Eric comes in and Jenna apologizes for the other day and both of them agree to have a truce. Eric spots a picture of Nina Mae McKinney hanging on the wall. He talks very fondly of her. This impresses Jenna because she's never met anyone who knows anything about Nina Mae. Jenna then invites Eric to her dinner party, telling him that he can even bring some friends if he wants to. Jenna and her friends are making some drinks when Eric arrives. He introduces his friend Tim and his girlfriend Carlita. Suddenly the ring bell sounds and Jimmy, Jenna's date, appears. Jimmy and Jenna talk for a little bit, but it is clear that Jenna is not feeling it. Eric decides to invite himself into the conversation. Then everyone dances, particularly Jenna and Eric dance together, and after everyone is gone, Jenna tells Eric that she wants a really passionate love. And before Eric can head out, Jenna grabs him by the shirt and they begin to make out. The next day, Jenna shares with Eric her idea to save the business. Jenna says that last weekend she met a designer who makes the most fabulously constructed items, so what if she could take inspiration from old movies and recreate those garments? Eric believes it's a good idea, but they need a cool factor to set them apart. Jenna contacts Remy Ma, a gorgeous influencer who will model the clothes. Eric gets down to do his job as a videographer and captures her essence. Later Eric tells Jenna to go out with him and celebrate with some champagne. Jenna tells Eric with much excitement that Becca agreed to make limited edition pieces of everything they shot. Jenna then tells Eric that even though what happened the other day wasn't a mistake, she doesn't want to keep things going that way because she's attached to Darcy now and doesn't want to ruin things. However, they can't avoid the tension and keep getting closer and closer. Jenna notices a tattoo on Eric's chest, so she asks about who's Otis. Eric says that Otis is his dad who got killed when he was 2. Eric then tells Jenna that he wants to make a film about his dad's life to celebrate who he was. The next morning, Jenna and Eric get to work on the set for the collection. After that, they go to a drive-in theater. Susie, a top model, comes up to them. She knows Eric from college and tells him that Jenna was the one who discovered her. Susie ships them together and then leaves. Immediately they know they're in trouble because she knows everybody. Darcy gets real with Jenna, telling her that she's aware of the crush her son has on Jenna. Darcy warns Jenna that things mustn't go any further. The clothing collection is done and now Jenna and Eric are enjoying the launch. Darcy is happy with how it came out. Eric and Jenna attend a costume party. A little girl asks Eric to take the pictures. Madison is her ballet teacher, so Jenna doesn't doubt for a moment to introduce herself to Madison. Eric tells Madison that they're co-workers. But this pisses Jenna off. Which ultimately makes Eric mad because she was the one who told him to keep it low-key between them. Later Jenna tries to call Eric to fix things up, but he won't pick up. Instead, Jenna finds Brian on the street and instantly notices that he's drunk. Brian tells Jenna that his mom died last night. Jenna tells Brian that she'll take him home. Jenna had no idea that behind them was Eric. When they arrive, Brian asks Jenna to come upstairs with her, but Jenna declines the offer. At work, Jenna asks for Eric, but she gets told that Eric is working from home doing some edits. Jenna tells her friends what's happening, so they decide to help her. Carlita works her magic to allow Jenna to get inside Eric's apartment. Jenna apologizes to Eric, explaining that seeing him with Madison just threw her off. Eric says that when he saw her and Brian walking in the rain, he was actually coming to see her. Jenna says that she doesn't want anything to do with Brian anymore. Jenna says that the life she wants is next to the man she loves. Eric kisses Jenna and they get intimate. Out of nowhere, Darcy surprises them during the act and fires Jenna. After a few months, Eric meets with Jenna. Eric updates her. He left her mom's business and now is focusing on the documentary about his dad. As for Jenna, she landed a fashion and film course at Columbia. But the biggest news is that Jenna is expecting a baby and Eric is the father. He doesn't know how to react and feels overwhelmed. Darcy visits Jenna to let her know that whether she likes it or not, they're family now. Eric appears while Jenna is at the hospital. He says that even though he's not prepared, he doesn't want to miss this. Jenna proposes the name of the baby to be Otis. Eric invites Jenna to his mom's gala. When Jenna gets interviewed about her perfect comeback to the public eye, she says that she would call it a perfect find.